Hi, my name is Joel McIver and I'm the author of Queens of the Stone Age, which is coming out shortly on Omnibus Press. Now what's interesting about this book is that although it's a full-size biography with tons and tons of amazing information that covers the band's career and goes right up to the modern day, it's actually an update of a book which first came out in 2007, I think. I was pleased with that book. It turned out well and it really did a good job of covering what the band had done since their formation in Palm Desert, California. Until that point. But what has happened in the interim, in the 8 years since that first book came out, is an awful lot of albums, an awful lot of touring, some fairly crazy stories involving the personnel of the band and where they've been and what they've done and how they've been through incredible amounts of chaos. So the new edition of Queens of the Stone Age goes from 2007-2008, which was where the last book went to, and it goes into real detail into the 3 albums that Queens have released since then. So if you're a fan of Queens of the Stone Age, I don't think there is a book about them anywhere else out there apart from this one. One of the things I'm proudest of about this book is that it goes very, very deeply into their desert rock backgrounds. And I can't think of a band that has transformed itself so much in the couple of decades that it's been around. Viewers of a certain age will remember Caius, the band from which Queens of the Stone Age evolved. That was a desert rock band. It's a bit of a cheesy term, but it does sort of sum up what they did very well, which would play concerts out in the desert, in the middle of nowhere. And you've got to try and get a picture of this. What would happen is that these bands, like Caius and the others who surrounded them, would go out to the desert in Palm Springs, Palm Desert, in the middle of the night, and they'd find a place where they could hook up a generator, or indeed just steal some power from the power lines overhead. And they would throw a sort of impromptu gig that would last all night. And sand would be blowing everywhere, there would be spotlights, the band would tune down to be as super heavy as possible, all the Black Sabbath influences and so on. So imagine kind of Black Sabbath mixed with witchcraft in the desert. That's essentially what you've got. And the first few chapters of my book really focus on the vibe and the ethos of that scene and what it was like back in the sort of late 80s, early 90s, before Caius got big. So, as I was saying, one of the things I'm proudest of about Queens of the Stone Age, the book, is that it does go very deeply into their roots. And before they turned into Queens of the Stone Age, obviously Caius guitarist Josh Homme and Nick Oliveri, the bass player, moved on to Queens of the Stone Age and became this kind of modern chart rock phenomenon. So I'm very pleased with the entirety of the book. It covers all of that and really is a kind of one-stop source of information about a phenomenon which has really been going 25 years by now. I'm so pleased with it, and I encourage you to check it out if you're interested in anything to do with sort of modern rock. Thank you very much.